Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a grand evening last night. We have one more day of unseasonably warm temperatures, like 20 degrees above normal, and we're scheduled to move back into 5 to 10 degrees above normal. So when the wind blows from the north, it can cool down, and when it blows from the south, it definitely warms up, and we're under that great big bulge of hot air that is underneath the jet on the west coast, and that air has drifted east, and it's also blocking the moisture coming up out of the Gulf, and it's stopping the cold fronts that pour out of the Rockies, which is what triggers our weather. We do have some moisture in the forecast. We desperately need it. I was out driving around yesterday, and where the grass is not irrigated, it's brown. It looks like at the end of March, into February, so hopefully we'll get some moisture out of this, minus the tornadoes. There are tornadoes forecast south and east of us as this front comes through. Hopefully that won't happen either. Not a lot of news out overnight. In fact, the economic news that came out overnight, German factory orders are off by 0.9%. Went from a positive number last month to a negative number. Japan leaves its monetary policy unchanged. What else can they do? European retail sales down 0.2%. The Hong Kong market exploded. It's one way that the rich Chinese can get money out of China, investing in that stock market. So that's what the big rally in Hong Kong was attributed to. The DAX and CAC are lower off of German and the EU's numbers. FTSE was up. The biggest news out overnight, stock market-wise, was the BG PLC merger with Shell. And tonight's the start of earnings season with Alcoa forecast to show 26 to 28 cents per share. Saudi Arabia has increased its crude output, fighting for market share. They are not going away. So the economic news out overnight is mixed. Looking at today's Treasury market, the focus is going to be the 10-year auction. And normally we'd expect the market to sell or be lower off the 10-year, the middle auction. But yesterday there was an article put out, and it could have been self-serving, that there's a shortage of 10-year paper for collateral. And there has to be a shortage of treasuries because the Treasury has taken, the Fed's taken $2 trillion of treasuries off the market. So there is some truth to that. So what do we see? Today I see a trading range with sellers 16 to 20, and I think we got buyers at 4 to 8. So we're going to trade 5 to 9, pretty much where we were last night, buy 1. And then 129 for buy 2. On the sell side, 15 to 19, sell 1. And then 23 to 27. Crude inventory is expected up 3.3 million barrels. And then the March minutes from the FOMC. That's the only news that we have on tap today. Okay, looking at the 30-year. Okay, we have this breakout from 8, and we're currently at 18. The last rotate down was 12, so 9 to 13, buy 1. And then we have the auction yesterday, 29, so we'll make 01 to 29 for buy 2. I know it's quite a spread between those two, but this contract, when it moves, can move quickly. 27 to 31, sell 1, leaning against these high volume numbers, and 3 to 7, leaning against the overnight session high. Okay, gold, we thought it was good. We left last night really basically wanting to buy 1200, 1205, so stops below 05. So we'll make 3 to 5 buy one. Then the trade is 1200 plus or minus. That's a round number. It will bring in opposite activity. On the sell side, 10 to 12 and 15 to 17. Haven't seen a lot of central bank activity. They're the ones that whack gold, and then when gold is down, they go buy it in the physical. You and I would go to jail for that. So much of what government does these days, their average citizen would be arrested for. They don't get touched. It's, you know, what is missing today across the board is virtue. I mean, just in every area. I mean, who in the hell can you trust? And who in the hell has, you know, universal principle values in mind when they do something other than just feathering their nest? Right now, it's just kind of get it as quickly as you can, no matter who is hurt. Take care of yourself. And the easiest way is to buy political favor. It always has been. That old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, is even rings more true today. And that's what really crony capitalism is all about, is influence buying. Okay, 52.50. Got a B, so 25 to 50 will be buy one. Takes us back to this breakout right here. We're going to lean against that 52 and a quarter, and then 51.75 if we break that 51.50. The worst news overnight for the crude oil market was Saudi Arabia is producing as much as they can. Probably a lot of it is stored. Sell one 53, 53 and a quarter. Sell two 53, 50, 53, 75. Going to pick up in this area right up in here. Looking at the euro, it was up a little bit overnight. Well, you know, we see the dollar down a day or two, the yen and the euro up a day or two, and vice versa. It's just, when you come in and you look at the markets, it's a trade range. So we've got a buyer at 108, 108 and a quarter overnight. So 15 to 25. I mean, that's where support is. That's buy one. And then we'll make 75 to 85 buy two. Let them go get stops below 108. If we take out this low and that one, I think we'll get stops below 108. On the sell side, 75 to 85, sell one. The 9 to 910, sell two. Longer term, I think it is a sell. But that doesn't mean it can't rally. Okay, on the E-mini, I talk about in our videos on the profile about a trading range market. And what happens in a trading range market is that they're going for stops. And there'll be stops. So they got stops here. They got stops right here. Then the market trades up, and we get up here and things look really, really bright. They get their stops, and it comes back in. So this 80 to 85 area right now is reasonable resistance, as is 35 to 40. So we're kind of in a trading range, the top held. If we can take out this low right here, we got a pretty good chance of getting back down to at least 2050. The March FOMC minutes will freeze things. I'm sure there'll be language or part of the discussion in those minutes. We'll talk about economic weakness, economic softening. And you can see right here that this breakout came from 65. So we can bust this 65 area, the market can come down. But everything really looks good. The top of the trading range holds. Everything really looks bad. The bottom of the trading range holds. And then the market comes back up into it. So 80 to 40 is 40 points. That would put kind of the midpoint in this 60 area. And we'll see if we can get down to that today. But this is a good chart to print, just to remind yourself that there are things called trading edges and the dynamics that affect those. Okay, volume most recent in the market's memory down here. Oops, wrong contract. Okay, we're talking about the 65 area, give or take, and we have this breakout from 63, 64. So that's where support is. 65, 67 is buy one, and 60, 62. There is no news today during market hours other than the FOMC minutes that fundamentally will impact the trading. Alcoa earnings come out tonight. They're looking for 26, 28 cents a share. And Alcoa never does an earnings report without some serious restructuring of their balance sheet or moving stuff around or previous liabilities disappear, etc. The big companies do that, and they do it with the blessing of the SEC and the rest of them. This administration only bright spot is the stock market, and if you fudge your numbers to show and keep your stock price high, they'll look the other way. 74, 76, sell one. You got this ledge right there, letting them get stops just above that number. Then sell two will be our 79.81. 75 is a round number. It should at least slow things down. It'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I'll be back with you as soon as I can.